Last time the Star Wars Chronicles Prophesied King. As Mikey, Sora, and Cody continue to learn about Darky's past, our heroes continue their adventure to try to get the Circle of Life. However, they were impeded by this random man named Nemesis, who's said to be a part of this Dark Council along with some other person. They went to battle where Nemesis' ability seemed to put our heroes at the ropes, as it was able to get rid of every single ability within a concise space. However, despite all the powers being gone, they managed to pull through at the end with working as a team despite some people getting injured in the process. After defeating Nemesis, they learned from Anto that Dark Flame is the one last person, and also he is the one guarding the Circle of Life. Now they continue their quest to try to get it as our heroes finally learn the rest of Darky's past. Episode 32, Cycle of Hardships. The group in the desert kept going forward towards the final destination. David led the pack despite his broken arm, along with Dragono looking at him concerned. "I'm surprised you're going along with this." David looks back to him a little annoyed. "I felt worse. I had my ankle broken after I fell from the roof when I was 8. I was in that bed for I felt like a century." "Is that why you're afraid of heights?" David looks back to Akage Fury. He gave a slick chuckle as Sierra smacked him beside the head. "What was that for?"
Oldest of the group, huh?
Fury scoffed at the comment. However, all of that was put on hold as they stopped in front of an open door. It was open with nothing but a blue light piercing through the darkness.
Is that light what I think it is?
Everyone looked at it a little confused as they approached the door slowly. They entered while investigating all surroundings. Once they did, it was nothing but columns and hieroglyphs that were barely visible in the darkness. The only thing that lighted the room was the one thing that was searched for a while for. And at the back end of the room was a pedestal that had a circle object floated above it. It glowed blue as the arrow symbols chased around each other inside. There it is. Gotta say, I'm not that impressed. I thought it would have been grander than this. Yeah, there's a staircase in a hallway. What does this do for such an artifact? Maybe because it was never us to begin with. They gave shocked looks as they saw a mysterious man step out from the shadows. He walks in front of the circle to reveal Dark Flame.
So you must be the other guy he was talking about.
And that Ento character ran away after all. I can tell when someone is committed to a cause. If that's correct, the Nemesis should also be defeated as well. They'll give a defensive stance. Same with you in about a second. Dark Flame rolled his eyes as he walked over to the Circle of Life. Do you really know what this is? Do you? Dark Flame stared at him annoyed. For all my years of living, I would have never thought she would bring it here. He takes out the pedestal while burning it to a crisp. Gaiaport. Why bother with such a pitiful planet?
What are you talking about?
Dark Flame looks back up to them. I'm surprised that you search for an object you know little about. In fact, there's many things in this universe you know very little of. Only a fool would search for powers they don't understand. At the same time, a genius learns about those things as well. Dark Flame takes a look at Dale with a broken arm. He takes a deep sigh. I can't argue with that, especially when considering life itself to be a mystery. So, Biker, why throw it all away? David takes out his flame bow with his good hand. Why would it matter to you? Thought you wanted us dead. Dark Flame nodded in understanding. How much do you guys know about the Expeditioners? The beings responsible for discovering the universe? They all stand at him confused. What's that gonna do with this? Dark Flame held the circle up as it shined brightly. It lightens up the old dark room, revealing each and every hieroglyph. Gaia herself was an expeditioner, one for this planet you called home. Named after herself, she held the planet proudly, thinking any race would live on it, especially with the artifact, the Circle of Life. He then uses his flame to show them he was talking about. Those two races, however, could never live on the same planet as one. One led by an elemental, the other by a fool. Regardless of the past transaction, the fool drove the elemental away from the circle itself. That very fool created a foundation you only once called Starvania. The elemental had his hair try to take the kingdom back. The flames went away as the light did. If you hadn't guessed already, I used to be a part of that original tribe. I was there when the First Great War took place, and I was the one who helped Gaia discover this place. For I'm not an expeditioner nor elemental, but one of the last remnants of Darkness himself along with his Emperor Poisonovich. I was his lead general during the time, yet I couldn't win it out at the end. I had to leave in a circle with my hand in shame. He looks back into them. I had to watch as those two took the army that I failed. He shakes his hand in frustration. Relegated to a stupid council member. He has his trail of flames burst open, a column beside them. Of course, I had no idea what happened to the circle after that. I handed it back to the rightful owner, which led us here today. What makes the other guys then? Darflame took a second to compose himself. Nothing more than young, helpless soldiers. They were merely given keys to a car they had no idea how to drive. Especially Nemesis. Dear Lord, was he in over his head. He then puts the circle behind him. But let's cut the chit-chat. I suppose we should get this fight underway. You then see Fury and Sierra seriously disappear. If you give us a circle, maybe we know how to do this. Darkman looks around his area to see Fury make a prowl and have the two hide behind the column. It's clear that I'm in no condition to fight. But right now, it sounds like you are in the right state of mind. Darkflame stares back at him. Is that what you believe? He gives a glance at the circle. Tell me, what do you think it does? If you really know, then fight me for it. I've been through that thing myself, so I know I can let some idiotic, hopeless believers get their hands on it. As much as I'm not a huge Darky fan, he bursts each and every column with each trail of flames, revealing Fury and Sierra's location. I still really much want to complete the mission Gaia had in mind. He goes over to attack David, yet Dragonel matches punch. Then to battle we go! Can you keep up? The Flame Man gave a confident smile after he backed off. Don't need to. Dragonel looked at him confused as he saw his flames have some flickers on it. All of a sudden, they combust to send Dragonel flying. He recovered only to see that his fist was on fire. He dashed from the room to try and put it out.
So that's your ability to make things explode.
Darkflame shrugged at hearing that. Molirat. Volcanic is his name, and you can bet it's based on fire. He then takes notes of David and Fury. Unfortunately for me, two of you aren't affected by it. At the same time, however, you can't do anything to me. He then turns to Fury. Especially you. Fury scoffed away his comment. That's what you think. I have ways to hurt you. It's you has to worry. He sent his chain flying towards him. Darkflame just caught it like it was nothing and pulled it towards him. When she said I can alert anything with my trail of fire touches. He uses his free hand with a rock and put it in front of him. She means everything. It erupts from his hand to hit Fury in the head directly. He then fell to the ground in pain. Simple as that. Dragon now managed to get his hands to cool off. Well shit, we can't even touch him without something erupting. The other three stand there trying to think what to do next.
I can try to hit him. There's no way he can hit me through my transparency.
She does just that to launch one of her soul beams. Darkblade dodges quickly as Sierra wasn't going to give up there. She kept shooting beam after beam as Dragono and David checked up Fury. How are you holding up? Fury gets up over his head. Peachy, how do you think I'm holding up? No need to get snappy. Dragono looked back at Sierra and Darkflame had a hard time hitting each other. We get to the circle and go. Fury can just spawn a portal out of here. Hey, leave my sister? Fat chance. Remember, she can only be transparent for so long before she runs out of energy. They didn't look at the circle. Actually, Dragono might have a point. Fury looked at him like he was stupid. Just spawn the circle away. Like next to the others we can't take a place. Fury nodded in understanding. That could work. Fury gets ordered to do just that, and unfortunately the circle repelled the portal away. They once again looked in shocked. You'd think just any normal ability would take that away. Darkflame went over to attack them, but he felt a soul beam from Sierra blast him away.
Not so fast, Campfire.
Darkflame gets annoyed. Why didn't it spawn away? Fury tried over and over again. What does that book say? They remembered they had it and took it out. It says something about how to take it. And took notice of one of the lines in the book. With the light of Gaia. He just widened his eyes. That's why. You need a light of Gaia to make it do something. Light of Gaia? That makes no sense. How is he able to touch it? Darkflame and Sierra seemed a little exhausted as they fought. It's because I was given special permission. She can give you inner light powers as part of her ability. Don't bother trying to find it though. She's long dead. Felt the last attack from Sierra that knocked him to the ground.
Then tell us where we can get this light.
Darkflame lay on the ground, exhausted. Downside to my ability. Takes a lot of energy away. He looked out at her. Anyway, I'm not telling you anything. There's nothing to say, so I don't know the answer. She puts a beam on one of her fists.
Then you do it since you're so special.
Darkflame gave a quick chuckle after hearing that. Good luck with that. I'd rather die than let you get your filthy hands on her artifact. Sierra puts away while swearing. So close yet so far. Now what? He takes a look back at the dude who was still thinking. This might be a long shot, but see if you can get Sora. He looked at him confused. She has a light-based ability. If you try to get her, maybe we might be able to attain it. Sierra lets her transparent self breathe.
That might not be as much of a long shot as you might think.
She and felt an eruption take place under her. This sent her flying to the ceiling, causing her to break and fall with her. Fury went over to check on her frantically. As they saw Darkflame get confidently. My bluff worked. It seems you guys are idiots after all. I guess Nemesis was just that bigger idiot. Fury brushed away a few pieces of rubble, seeing unconscious Sierra. He lifted her up to check on her heartbeat. Given a sigh of relief, he discovered she's still alive. That was too close. He then tried to portal Darkflame away. However, it didn't work as Darkflame was worth a portal. Damn, worth a shot. Dave looks back at the R2. Quick, get the others now. Dragon and Fury nodded as they went through a different portal. Fury carried Sierra in the process. However, Dragon knows David only stood in front of it, facing Darkflame. What about you? David calmly smirks back. I'll make sure he doesn't follow. He was a portal himself as Dragon tried to race back for him. Wait, don't! He was too late as the portal went away. Oh no, what did he do? He quickly flies over to Fury. Confident in your one hand, are you? David stares down sternly. Since our abilities are the same, you can't hurt me. They get into a defensive stance. Doesn't mean I'll try. My friends, I will not back down. Darkflame shrugged annoyed. If you choose to die, then so be it. He lifts another rock to erupt towards David, and he dodges swiftly while getting a swift punch to his head. It vexed Darkflame surprisingly as he takes a few steps back. He looks David surprised. I've been roughing around with the best of them. There's no way he can beat me. He gets back into his defensive stance. Of course, unlike Dragon now, I can't get him on the counter. Well played, even with one arm. This might be more difficult than I thought. He looks over back to the circle. Yet, I have promised to keep it safe. I won't let some biker douche take it away. Darkflame gets to his own defensive stance. They both just stood there waiting for something to happen. Aren't you gonna fight back? Darkflame smirks to hearing that. Why don't you take a look around you? David, confused, looks around him to see what he was talking about. There was multiple flame trails around him. With worried look, he feels the ground erupt with rocks flying everywhere. He finds a stable ground only to see some rocks fly towards him. He summons Phoenix to take some blows for him. Yet after another punishment, it proved away. It then takes out his flame sword to swipe at some of the other rocks. Darkflame just stood there at his side impressed. Not letting his spirit break. Nice. Damn. If only knew we can do this much. The rocks again in the cave in, giving David little time to react. Yet with little luck he had, he found an opening. Using it, he puts an arrow to the ground beneath him. The push back will hurt, but he takes a deep breath. Incinerate! Flame combusts into the rock to propel him through the opening. He found himself on the other side of the room where Darkflame and him saw the giant pit on the floor. Darkflame clapped at his success. Not bad. Not many would have made it out there. Just ask your friend about it. Dave gets up, but it's clear he was in a lot of pain. That does beg the question. How much do you have left in you? David gets up while breathing hard. Enough to beat you. Darkflame actually looked concerned. Why? Why throw your life away like that? You truly don't have any value for your life. He shakes his head upset. That's not true. Dave finally catches his breath. If I didn't care for it, I wouldn't be here today. He takes a look at his flame bow. Those people that meant the world to me. That same spirit that kept us going forward. He comes to determine. That same spirit made more than a Starkist or a dragon or whoever. The spirit of family. He then gets back into his defensive stance. That's why I'm here. To keep that spirit alive. To make sure you nor Darky will break it. That's how I value my life. Darkflame shook his head in denial. I'm not sure if you're crazy or honorable. Yet to risk all of that to one circle. Do you really hear what you're saying? David laughed at hearing that. Maybe not, but I now see what that gull was talking about. Darkflame launched forward to attack. Then why bother spilling all that information out? David took a second to think as Dark Flame jumped over the pit. I'll give you 2 reasons. One is to be honest with myself. He then mumbles to a quick statement under his breath. Suddenly the ripple from the pit launches out to hit Dark Flame directly. It sent him flying back and bang towards David. The other was to get Phoenix enough time to recover. He then gets a little punch with his one hand. Now to finish you off! After his last punch, he sent Dark Flame back into the pit. David stands over victoriously. Now, if you don't mind, we got a king to save. As he walked away, the ground beneath him began to erupt as well. This caught David off guard as he sank into the pit. He feels a rolling on top of him, trapping him in the pit. Dark Flame walks up exhausted yet determined. I thought I said you'd have died and let you get your hands on it. You had to kill me if you truly wanted it. David tries to break free, yet he felt multiple bones and muscles give out. Stop fighting it. It's over. David took a deep breath as he figured it out. He just stared at Dark Flame, who picked up another rock beside him. Though you fought hard, you were only playing a fool's game. David just took a deep breath after he saw this. So this is how it ends. He leans further while shedding a tear. Fuck. I want to see our kingdom rise again. But maybe that's what got me into this situation in the first place. He looks at the Dark Flame who was walking closer to him. I'm sorry, Mikey, for not seeing you before. I hope in time you will forgive me for it. I softened this asshat for you. I leave the rest to you. As well as the others. Stay kind as ever, Sora. Never stop improving, Cody. Be the hero you always wanted to be, Terry. And keep a close eye on them, Sierra. I'll see you on the other side. He put his head down in acceptance as he sheds more tears. Dark Flame went for a killing blow, yet before he did, time mysteriously stopped. As it did, footsteps were heard coming from the hallway. A blast hits a rock out of Dark Flame's hand as time restores. Dark Flame notices shocked. He looks around to see Anto stand there with a gun in his hand.
For all that talk about protecting your circle, you sure seem to do a terrible job at being the martyr.
Dark Flame looks at him annoyed. David also seems in shock.
Don't get the wrong idea, Emblem. You saved me from that Peterson idiot a year ago. As much as I hate your guts,
He walks over to Dark Flame sternly.
I hate leaving people hanging even more. It's what got me to where I am today.
Yet you still feel remorseful for him.
Correction.
Time stops again.
I never felt remorse for anything. I just hate you.
He brings out a gun and attacks Dark Flame hard as time restores once more. This causes the Flame Man to be knocked out, and Anto puts his gun away confidently. Thank you. Anto looks at the injured David.
Jesus, look how pitiful you are. What a loser.
David gives an annoyed look.
You're welcome. Get your circle thing and save your kingdom.
Will do. Though, did you really mean what you said? Anto stares at him with a smile.
Not a single word. I just did that so I can get a ride home. Your demon friend can make portals there, so it was more, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
David stared at him amused.
So I guess some of it was true.
David shook his head in disapproval. Now we're taken to a faraway castle. Many guards with guns set on patrol around the gates and walls, making sure no one got in. The 2 guards at the front gate seemed bored as the day went by. They didn't say much, one of them yawned in the process. Yet one of them heard a noise in the distance. He gets up closer to investigate. What are you doing, mate? The other guard puts his gun out in distance. Have you gone mental?
Shush, I heard something.
The other guard left after hearing that. Ain't nothing there but foxes and owls. Nothing to worry about. He laughed as the noise grew louder. He suddenly stepped as a mysterious man jumped from the bushes and killed the one guard with some weird force of magic. The other guard looked in horror as he pointed his gun. What the hell? The mysterious man looked at the revealed Bartholomew in his mask. Stop right there! Don't make any sudden movements! The guard looks back to his dear friend. Oh God, Johnson, what have you... He sees Bartholomew slowly walk up to him. He fires his gun in panic, yet Bartholomew just casts a spell to stop it. Bartholomew gets up real close to him while casting a spell to make the gun disappear. The guy trembled in fear. Shh. Quiet now. Don't need to make it more painful than it has to be. Run while you can. Let's go as the man runs into the forest. That's when Bartholomew casts another spell to bring the gate up, allowing him access. Other guards came down to try and stop him. Bartholomew just stand there confidently after putting the gate back down. You took too many steps! Freeze now or else! Bartholomew showed his glowing hands. Or what? Meanwhile, Michael 1, a little older, was talking with this someone in full body armor. You understand where I'm coming from, right? The knight nodded confidently.
Of course. After all, it's our job to make sure this kingdom is safe at all costs. Whatever this black magic is, we need to make sure we know all there is to it in order to build a safe future.
King Michael took a deep sigh of relief after hearing that. Good. I may resort to this. I don't know any other way, unless you have any suggestions. The knight shook his head.
Unfortunately, no. I'm afraid there is no better way.
Mom gets disappointed. I see. In that case, I ask you to look over my son. I'll assume he exiled, and if it's of the utmost importance that he runs his kingdom better than I ever could. Matt gets up confidently.
You can count on me. I promise that he'll be able to see this country grow.
After he said that, an alarm went off above them. That's when they heard the door behind them open to another guard come in. Leave now! We have a hostile intruder on our base! Michael seemed worried. The knight went over to him confidently.
Don't worry. I'll see to it that this intruder will be slain.
He turns back to the guard.
Who are we dealing with?
I don't know. Well, he is believed to be a black mage. You all gave sharp noises. If that's the case, keep him alive. Leave him held captive immediately. The knight salutes.
Already on it.
He runs out to go find the said intruder. The ET is going off, going to see Bartholomew on a lower level, torturing our guard. Where is your hospital wing? He held the guard against the nearby wall while engulfing some parts of his body in flames. Please, please, make it stop! Bartholomew just stared intently at him.
That's enough from you.
Bartholomew stopped as he saw the knight jump down to his level. They stand confidently at each other.
I assume you're here to free the others.
And now gets his glowing hands back out. If you'd be so kind. I would also like to know where your hospital wing is as well. The knight then took notice of all the dead guards behind him.
Are you a terrorist?
Bartholomew said nothing as he cast a spell. He set a knife flying into the air. I am what I want. What I want is for you to get out of my way. He then saw the knight mysteriously disappear. He was caught off guard and able to see the knight stab him.
I will not allow you to cause any more bloodshed tonight, monster.
The knight gets up while healing his wound. The only monster I see is your king. He goes through another spell, yet the knight dodged with ease. The knight himself went for an attack, yet Bartholomew was able to block it. Rain began to fall as thunder cracked beside them.
Terrible day to have a rainstorm, wouldn't you say?
Bartholomew backs off while getting another spell ready. Every day is terrible if you're one of those kids. The fight began. Bartholomew cast more spells to try and hit the knight. Yet for some reason or other, the knight was able to block and parry each and every spell. Good news for Bartholomew, though. He was able to protect and read when the knight was going to attack next.
As I expected, you seem to be proficient with your spells.
Bartholomew laughed after he heard that. I suppose you ain't bad yourself. Though I wouldn't get too comfortable yet. He then launched a spell that caused the ground beneath the knight to break. He falls while trying to grab for a near sledge. I thought you people would be more prepared for an attack such as this. A pity. Bartholomew begins to walk without noticing the bridge to be built back together along with the knight. With this distraction, the knight took the opportunity to strike.
Only a monster such as yourself would never see this coming.
The guard took a swing for his head, but it was no avail as the knight fell the victim to another stab from Bartholomew, who instantly turned around. Charlie ran back from that one. Thank goodness he dropped the sword beneath him. Bartholomew lays the knight on the bridge as he gasps for air. Not bad. I admire your determination. Unfortunately, I could let a thorn such as yourself live. I pay you my respects. He then hears Michael scream from the floor above. No! Jaden! Bartholomew stops at hearing that. Jaden? He looks over the knight. He then turns to Michael. Why'd you say that name? Michael couldn't believe what was happening. Bartholomew went over to take off the helmet of the knight. He didn't help his gasp after seeing who it was. It was Nora Jane laying lifeless on the bridge. No, 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 no! He did his mask off while holding back his tears. Jay, what did they do? He couldn't find any more words to say as Jay's corpse rots there. Bartholomew was hugging him tightly while the rain beat down him. No, I didn't. She kept choking up his words. That's when he kissed his forehead while crying lightly. I'm sorry. He looks back at the king and looked at him in shock. That's when his expression changed for the worse. Lightning flashes Bartholomew appeared from Michael's eyes. What? Where did he? He looks over to see Bartholomew stand there furiously with some more tears right down his face. Listen, I didn't know what was happening between you two. I didn't think anything was. Please, I mean no harm. He goes back to his knees in begging position. If that's what you wanted, I would have more than willing to let him go. was like a son to me, more than anyone can ever understand. I'm sorry. Lightning flash again as Bartholomew rushed over to lay the killing blow on the fallen king. His death scream catches the wind. Since time has passed as the rain dropped, Bartholomew has seen the strides he carried Jay's corpse out the castle. He doesn't even look at it, just forward to see the little Lavender stand there. I've come to check on ya. How did it? He sees what Bartholomew was doing. Oh, I see. Bartholomew then lays the corpse against the castle. He takes one look at him. This time he couldn't take his eyes off him. Are you okay? He didn't say a word as he grabbed the ground beneath him. Why didn't you tell me? What? Bartholomew stares at him angrily. Why didn't you tell me? Lavender backed away in fear. I didn't know. He holds his hands up in defense. I honestly, truly didn't know. I have been here since I first saw you. If I did, I would have told you before you left. Bartholomew holds his hands up in the air while choking him. I swear. Bartholomew didn't want to hear it as he was able to end him. Yet he saw the sun shine down on him. He felt the warm ray intently while letting go of Lavender. That's when he stares up while tearing up again. He goes back on his knees while sobbing. Jay. He cries a little more while feeling the sun beam down. Lavender was covers while casting a spell. That spell made him go get Bartholomew's mask. What am I going to do now? He sees Lavender put the mask on the ground beside him. If you ask me, he doesn't blame you for what happened. In fact, he might be proud of it after tonight. And you know how you can honor him? Bartholomew looks at him confused. You can keep getting better for his sake. He takes the mask while hugging it hard. Are you sure? He tried to help the king. Lavender shook his head. He was mistaken. In reality, you might have freed him from the prison he was trapped in. Bartholomew looks over to Jay. He then looks at his mask after composing himself a bit. He puts it back on while getting up. He uses a spell to get his wand back. That's when he proceeds to walk away emotionless. As he walks, the vision of Mikey, Sora, and Cody watches as it all happened. They then look over to the corpse. That's must be what she was talking about. They go over to see the corpse. Darky, why would you hide this? Sora and Cody looked at him concerned.
Sometimes the bigger enemy is ourselves. Though I don't see how this one king's mistake makes him so resentful.
Yeah, considering it was his fault he died. Ardina sat there hearing that. That's because you haven't heard the full story yet. All three seem surprised they nervously turn around. So, Michael, that's where you've been hiding all this time. Phoenix. He then brings Morgan to the mix, who seemed exhausted. Maya holds out on terror. Mom! Darky holds him to stop. Quit it. There's nothing you can do right now. Fortunately for you, I can't do anything either. Sora and Cody got into their own defensive stance. Let go of her right now! Darky stares last as Morgan gets back up.
I'm sorry, Michael. I did everything I could.
Darky tossed her back to the ground. Maya just looked at him furiously. How was my story? I hope it was entertaining. Yet she hasn't gone into the one specific chapter to it all. And what is that? I guess a spell is shown our vision. I suppose you made it this far. You can have the right to see with your own eyes. They looked over to see Lavender and Bartholomew in the room arguing. I don't know how many times I can express this. He can't learn it. Lavender seemed to know himself. That's impossible. He's infused with my blood. There should be no way he can't learn it, especially putting both of them together. Bartholomew gets up angrily. Are you even listening, or is it going through your empty head? Terrence is incapable of using magic. You said it yourself. You have to be born with that talent similar to abilities. You're really going to go back to the facts you stated? Lavender gets angry as well. Well, you're the best wizard here. You should have the ability to give him that. Bartholomew puts his in a chokehold. Listen, for Christ's sake, I don't want that child to live a terrible life like I did. If he can't do it, then don't force him to. Take that spirit out of him and move on. Only you can do that. What do you mean I can't do it by force? It worked for you, didn't it? Only because I had a reason to work for it. A reason that he doesn't have. Now let's go Lavender. I see. In that case, I should make an illusion then. Is he into boys or girls? I don't care either way. Bartholomew seems out to hearing this. How does any of that relate to what we're talking about? Lavender's short at hearing that. That's how I did it with you. I saw you look out a random kid one day and made an illusion along with a boy to help you begin your training. Gotta say, never knew what you saw in that J character. But hey, everyone's got someone, right? Bartholomew tried to hear this. What? Lavender turned to him weirdly. Oh, I didn't tell you, did I? Jay, the bully, that was all made up by me. Once I saw your magical potential, I just couldn't pass it up. Though I am seeing your point, I had to incentivize you in order for you to train hard. I should have seen for Terrence.
I thought you seemed even more shocked. There was never a Jay?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. There was the one you killed. Yet, helped you push through, didn't it?
Nathaniel holds on to her ankle after hearing that.
What's the meaning of this?
You played me! Lavender gasped for air.
Don't get too angry. You were always destined to be the next top mage. I had to make sure you went to my hands somehow.
He didn't felt the choke grow harder. I loved him. He was my everything. Even if it was a couple days, the moment I laid eyes on him, I knew I wanted him. It was all a lie. Just so you can get your perfect mage. He choked Lavender harder.
Okay, when you put it like that.
He pushed Lavender out the wall in rage. This gave Lavender a chance to portal away. Matthias quickly gave chase. Norman! Fuck you! He tried to look around for him. Fine, be that way. If that's how it's going to be, I'll hope your son escapes so he doesn't suffer the same fate. He walks away as some of the mages backed away in fear. The vision goes away as Bartholomew looked back at Mikey. Bartholomew? It was at that moment I knew what I had to do. Two kings showed me what people with power would do to get what they want. He held himself in comfort, made me do this awful things while playing me like that. Royalty truly is that despicable. Those are Mikey and the rest. Unfortunately, I seem to be too late on your quest. Chloe points out over to the sword. Mikey takes down to show a green light beam for the last circle. Not bad, Michael. I assume you'll be coming here next. Mikey puts it back confidently. I'm sorry that happened to you, but that doesn't excuse you for what you did. I never said it did. He looks over to see Fan Morgan. Losing connection. We'll meet soon, Sarticus. Once and for all, we will end this. Darky walks away as the call ends. The three get up in their tent.
Well, at least that answers my question, I guess.
Cody and Mikey shook their head in disapproval.
So it's almost over, huh?
Before they said another word, they saw the tent open with Fury and Seer, who woke up.
We need to be quick! Not a whole lot of time left!
They get up with their minds heavy. What's going on?
See for yourself!
He opens a portal into the temple where everyone, including Dragnet, who caught up, rushed in. They get in ready to fight, only to see Anto help David from the pit. Inzen takes notice of Fury.
Finally!
He rushes over to Fury.
I saved your friend. Take me home now.
They all look confused, only to see Dark Flame encased in stone.
Whatever.
He opens a portal back to Phoenix.
Sweet. Catch you later, losers.
He runs through as the portal closes. David just awkwardly stares at them.
Right, so why are we needed for?
And took one to catch the other three up to speed. Sora was able to take the circle with her light and crested hands.
So it is by a light-based ability.
David nods and understanding as Mikey tells him about Darky's past.
I suppose it makes sense. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, he did mention that he knew your location, right?
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter anymore since our next step is to face him. They gets up quickly to Fury.
Pour us home, now. Can we rest now?
Fury does so as David rushes through. Everyone else looks at each other warningly before following. As did, with a circle knife in hand, David rushed into the lab. They all seem surprised to see it trashed up like nothing else.
Shit, what's that, attacked?
They all rush in to see what was going on. As they get in, they see David stopped, stunned. They all held their gas to see what happened. They saw Francisco dead with blood covering the wall. Some blood made the words, "can't hide" on it. They also saw Anto sit on one of the counters beside them.
Seems you're too late.